It's April the 29th, and we are in the book of Judges, continuing in chapter 9 and going into chapter 10. The rest of chapter 9 completes the story of Abimelech and the men of Shechem, and particularly the falling out of favour of both of them. If you remember, Abimelech made a move to win over the people of Shechem and get them to support him in making him king, but also in killing his brothers and his half-brothers, all 70 of them, the sons of Gideon. And Jotam, the youngest, who managed to survive this, prophesied that this would not end well, and actually there would be a mutual revenge. And sure enough, as chapter 9 unfolds, we find the men of Shechem, the people of Shechem, turning against Abimelech, and there is war between them. But Abimelech is actually a skilled military leader, and he manages to bring great harm against Shechem and actually destroys much of Shechem. But then in a further development, Abimelech moves on to take another city, and in the taking of that city he is actually killed by a woman dropping a millstone on his head. And of course there's this amazing situation at the end where he says to his military aide, please kill me because I don't want it to be said that a woman killed me. And so Abimelech dies. But it says at the end of chapter 9 that Jotam's prophecy came to pass, and that's the end of the bramble king that he spoke about. A terrible situation, and also reflects the growing political unrest, the distress that is going on among the people of Israel, who are leaving God behind and not including him in the process. And then in chapter 10, we just find the unfolding story of more of the judges. First of all, we have Tola, who reigns for 23 years, and then Yair for 22 years. By reign, I mean saying they judge, they deliver, they set right. But then after that, the people of Israel again go astray. And they seem to be going after these fertility gods of the Canaanites, the Baalim. Baalim actually means, in Hebrew, it means masters, rulers, lords. And these were fertility gods linked to the cycle of the year, linked to the fertility, the fruitfulness of the land, and sacrifices were made to them. Sexual favors were given to people to try and make the land fruitful. There were even prostitutes who were assigned to their cult to make sure the land was fruitful. It was thoroughly immoral, thoroughly unpleasant forms of worship. And actually, towards the end of chapter 10, the Ammonites, another enemy of Israel, arise, and they give Israel great trouble. And Israel, again, as they always seem to, cry out to the Lord and recognize that it's the Lord who they need to set them free and to save them. But the Lord says to them, wait a minute, you've turned to these other gods. You've turned to the Baalim. Let them save you. Why don't you go to them and see if they will deliver you like I delivered you out of the hand of the Egyptians? But then Israel says, we've sinned, Lord, we've sinned. Please deliver us from the Ammonites. And so the chapter ends with them setting up camp against the Ammonites and then looking for a champion, someone who will come and be the judge, one of these deliverers, one of these right-wisers that God raises up for them. And the chapter 10 ends, and our reading today ends with them asking who is going to come and be the deliverer of Israel from the Ammonites. And we'll find out more about it tomorrow. But it just tells us again that there's nothing to be gained looking to other sources of deliverance. Only the Lord is our deliverer. He is the one who we trust. Have a very good April the 29th.